Since I started Do You Remember, I've mostly been talking about shows I've seen on PBS. A lot of them haven't been talked about, except, well, not as many that I've been. And now there's this one show that originally actually started in Canada, but did get shown on PBS though later on. And I feel like it's just pretty much a forgotten show or underrated in my opinion. But it'll also be the name of a company that would produce numerous TV shows as well for kids. So now I ask, do you remember the TV show known as Owl TV? Find out on Do You Remember right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Do You Remember? Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So today on Do You Remember, I am proud to bring to you another forgotten show. This show originally started out in Canada, but got to be somewhat big in the US in a way. It kind of focused on science and nature and what have you for kids. And well, I gotta say, this is a show I really would like to see a little bit more of, but from its showings on PBS though. So now, without further ado, I ask, do you remember a TV show simply called LTV? LTV was a fun filled kid show that focuses on science, nature, and stuff like that. It originally premiered on the Canadian Broadcasting Channel in 1985 and then later got shown on CTV in Canada. It also got shown on PBS and Showtime in the US. Now, the show did focus on nature, but as well as science discovery, emphasizing to viewers how they can affect their own environment. The show was actually produced by Owl Television, which is the same, well, no, named after this here show. But anyway, I have seen this show several times, well, on at times as a kid on PBS, and I think it was pretty good. This now in the U.S., the series was based on the magazine Owl, which was a Canadian children's magazine founded in 1976 by Annabelle Slate and Mary Ann Brinkman, members of the Young Naturalist Foundation. Now, OWL stands for Outdoors and Wildlife. Anyway, yes. So this came out almost a decade after the OWL magazine was ever printed. Well, a decade after it was ever introduced, almost. Now, each half-hour program presented cartoon segments mixed with serious themes and contained segments from several recurring themes, but some of those were live action. Now, in the US, the show was presented to PBS through the courtesy of PBS's own New York station, WNET. Now, I actually did find an episode from a PBS show, but unfortunately, it had its final credits at the end. I'll get to that later, though, if I can remember. Now, of the segments that were shown on some of these were shown here, but maybe not all the time. There was the Mighty Mites, three kids who possessed the magical ability to shrink in size in order to discover microscopic environments. I remembered seeing these characters, and this was kind of a wow. The Animals Close Up, which discovers other aspects of animal life, and kids meet the animals firsthand and see on the spot interviews with zoologists and experts on animal behavior. The next segment, Tomorrow Today, looks at the future from a kid's point of view and brings kids into working laboratories. Real Kids features youths who are actively involved in trying to develop their environment. These are kids who are not afraid to try. Real Kids nurtures the idea that individuals of any age can make a difference. Then we have You and Your Body. Kids learn about themselves with the help of a wise and funny skeleton named Bonaparte, who is voiced by Michael Lynch. Now, who actually also has his own segment where he shares his energy and individual action on behalf of the environment at times. Dr. Zed, who discovers the connections between nature and science, shows kids exciting experiments. Each episode ends with the Hoot Club, which is a group of kids who set up and work through a project solving production and or performance problems, experimenting with materials, interacting with their community and environment, which that I do remember very well because kids actually did have their own Hoot Club shirts. Some of them actually had the later LTV logo, as a matter of fact. That was used, I think, from the early 90s into the about close to the mid late 90s. Now, of course, there was let's see, uh, a French dub. Well, I can't pronounce the word, but a Quebec type French dub of the series also aired. Also, well, Al well, was the course the magazine. Funding for the series was initially provided in part by PBS, with the National Audubon Society, who also had their own specials on the network, starring as a producer. Now, when I watched the show on PBS, its funders included the nation's public television stations, along with the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which that's why I saw at the end of this one episode I found. But it was on a different site though. But however, when I watched it, there was a third one, and it was the Hershey Foods Corporation. Which, believe me, I have looked high and low to find an actual episode that came from PBS. Now there are some episodes of LTV, but they're very tough to find though, and most of them are from maybe later showings and what have you, and well, they show what's coming up before the show's intro starts, which I'm going to get to that in just a moment as well. But when I saw the one that came to PBS, after its theme, we hear a kid saying, "Coming up on LTV." Yes, that's why I remembered. Now, it's hard to tell how many episodes aired. The show ran on CBC from 1985 to 1990. Then it was sent to CTV, which and ran till 94. In 1989, there was a British version made for CITV by Thames Television. Now, and that version did use the same owning titles, but unlike the Canadian version, the British version was a straight wildlife program with no animation segments, and most editions were 20 minutes long. However, North American segments were incorporated into the program. Now, Channel 4 actually aired the show on CITV, but however, in 1993, right about 1993, Thames lost its franchise. Channel 4 had picked up the rights in 1993 for one last series to be made by Tetra Films. Now, another thing I liked about LTV was its theme song, which was which was written by Tim Ryan and composed by Jonathan Goldsmith, and was performed by Cree Summer Franks. Of course, you would know her better as Cree Summer, who later went on to voice Susie on Rugrats and Elmira on Tiny Toon Adventures. She also did work on Inspector Gadget, Batman Beyond, Danny Phantom, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Transformers Animated, and many others. She also voiced Number 5 on Codename Kids Next Door and Cleo in the Clifford the Big Red Dog animated series from 2000. Anyway, now that was really cool because I liked the song, which is called Gotta Move, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. But anyway, I will say that LTV is easily one of the most underrated programs there ever was. Okay, there is a full episode of the UK version and what have you. But I'm going to say you're going to have one heck of a time trying to find this series because there's other series that have LTV in it, or maybe just the actual logo. So it would take some time to find it, but I think you can find it without much trouble. If you can't find it, just find the series intro and you might enjoy that and hear Increase Summer's actual singing because she was actually a musician, as a matter of fact. Well, a singer. Well, you get the point, all right? So, anyway, I will say that LTV had a whole lot of stuff to offer when it aired. I would show you some clips from it, but it's like I said, it's very hard to find. But someone actually does have the first episode from its U.S. showing. Canada U.S. showing. Well, actually, it's Canadian showing, but it is from like how I remember from PBS, but without funding credits. But it does have the various segments that I've told you: the Mighty Mites, Bonaparte, and of course the Hoot Club. That's about it. That's about all I can tell you. But well, and it's in like I think 3 parts. So good luck with finding that. Like I said, this is probably one of the most difficult and hard to find series and what have you. But LTV is easily a very rare show. But I think you'll really like it if you give it a shot. If you can ever find this. But that's all I can tell you about LTV. So if you've seen LTV, let me know what you thought about it in the comments section below. If you liked the video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel, give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation, or who knows, or you can share my vids with your friends if you like too. And we'll have another episode. Do you remember coming up in a few days with Long Ago and Far Away, another forgotten PBS show for kids. So if you enjoyed this, check out these other Do You Remember episodes. Maybe not Do You Remember. One's a Do You Remember, but here's 2 that were TV logs, and they were science shows for PBS. In the upper left-hand corner is the episode, or should I say TV log on 321 Contact. The upper right hand corner is the TV log on Bill Nye the Science Guy, which of course aired in syndication then on PBS. Or go to the bottom left hand corner and see another long lost PBS kids show that focused on nature and what have you, and that's a recent Do You Remember episode, Hodgepodge Lodge. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as Do You Remember, then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and join me next time when I give you my Saturday morning TV log on Zazu U. This is the Big D saying, see ya.